back, students. We're looking at hypotenuse leg theorem to prove these two triangles here are congruent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a pen, and let's take a look. 3 requirements to make sure that we have hypotenuse leg. 1, are the two triangles right triangles? If I took a protractor out and measured this, it would make a right angle, and this one would make a right angle. Second requirement for hypotenuse leg. Hypotenuses must be congruent. That symbol means congruent. So for example, let's say this one is 8 inches long. This side, all the way down here is 8 inches. The hypotenuse on this picture, let's say that's 8 inches long. So if that's true, we've met 2 requirements. We have right triangles, we have hypotenuses congruent. The last requirement is one leg must be congruent between the 2 triangles. For example, let's say this is 4 inches long, and this is 4 inches long. We now have a good example of hypotenuse leg theorem. Now we've already been working with this in previous videos. Let's take a look at how this might show up in a proof. Oops, my mistake. Let me just go forward one. All right, we take a look over here. We said use the hypotenuse leg congruence theorem to prove that the triangles are congruent. The given angle P and angle R are right angles. So this is a right angle here, and this is a right angle here. And so let's see what else. This is given also. PS is congruent to RQ. These little tick marks indicate that these two sides are the same length. And we're supposed to somehow prove that this PQS triangle up in here, this triangle up here, is the same size or congruent to this triangle down here. We have to use hypotenuse leg. So first of all, we need to know if we have right triangles, because that's the first requirement. Angle P and angle R are right angles. What would be my reason? Look right here. It's long there right after the word given. So we're going to have to take, let me grab my little pointer, and we're going to grab this word given, and we're going to bring it along, and we're going to put it right there, because that's our reason. It was given to us. Now number 2 says PS is congruent to RQ. I take a look at my problem up here, PS and RQ. Well, that was already given to us right here. So we grab the second given, and we write it down there as the second reason. SQ is congruent to SQ. We have 2 answer choices up here left. We have hypotenuse leg or reflexive property. We've talked about this in the past, that if we use the same side for the 2 separate triangles, it's called reflexive property of congruence. Now the last one, are the 2 triangles congruent? Take a look at the picture. We have a leg and a leg matching. We have a right triangle and a right triangle. And then we have SQ. I forgot to write that in there. Oh, my mistake. Let's go ahead and make sure that we mark that SQ is congruent to SQ. It's being used for the top triangle and for the bottom triangle. Now we definitely have enough information. So we go ahead and we're going to grab the last reason here for why are the triangles congruent? Hypotenuse triangle congruence theorem. Now let's take a look at one more proof. And we take a look at this diagram over here, and we go over here and we read, given angle J and angle L are right angles. Well, if they're right angles, I better go grab a pen. And I should definitely put down my right angle marks. All right, that was given to us. K is the midpoint of JL and MN. K acts as a midpoint. Remember, we've talked about if K acts as a midpoint of JL, that means this little tiny piece from J to K must be congruent to KL. Now it's also the midpoint of MN. So if it's the middle of this line, then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and put tick marks to indicate that MK is the exact same size as KM. Now take a look at your diagram. Do you have enough information at this point to say that this triangle is congruent to this triangle over here? Yes, we do. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our actual proof down here and see what we can add in here. Angle J and angle L are right angles. What would be our reason? We look up in here and like, oh, it's given. So we go ahead and we grab a given and we write it down here. Second one, K is the midpoint of JL and MN. And I remember seeing that up here. And if you take a look up here, it's written right here after the word given, so that was also another given. So we grab it and we write it in given. JK is congruent to LK. MK is congruent to NK. And we look at our answer choices that are left up here. Definition of midpoint or hypotenuse leg? Well, if you take a look over here, JK and LK, aren't these congruent because we knew that this was a midpoint? If that's true, then definition of midpoint is our reason for having written that. And then why are the two triangles congruent? We now have enough information to say, oh, hypotenuse leg is why the two triangles are congruent. So to review how we go through proofs, what I would suggest you do is you read the given, you draw the marks onto your diagram. When you finish doing that, take a look over at your statements and start reading them. After you read them, after each one, take a look at your answer choices and bring down the correct one, and you'll have to write it in. We need to look for hypotenuse leg. We have two triangles that are right triangles. We have two triangles that have a hypotenuse matching. For example, the NK and the MK up here match. And then we have a leg matching. JK and LK are legs in this picture. Now I have one for you to try on your own. So what I would like you to do is copy this diagram over here into your notes. Write down your given, isosceles triangle PQS, with PQ is congruent to PS and PR perpendicular to QS. Fill in your statements and reasons. Now, I'm going to bring this down so you can see everything that you need to. Fill out this, and then pardon my dogs in the background. They're just getting excited because they know we're at the end of our video. Fill in blank 1, blank 2, blank 4, and blank 5 with any of the information that's up above here. So I'm going to give you a moment. Make sure you copy everything you see. Pause the video. Okay, you're back. I'm going to bring this down so you can see the last one, number 5. Write that into your notes. And please fill in the blanks to the best of your ability. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Oops, sorry about that. I shouldn't be moving now. I'm trying to get over to click off my recording. Have a great one, guys.